Hello everyone. Today we're going to be adding and subtracting fractions, but we're only going to add and subtract fractions that are less than a whole for right now, until my next video. So we're going to start small and then move upwards from there. Alright, so today's video I'm just going to show 4 examples, 2 addition, 2 subtraction, talk about the steps, and make it as simple and painless as possible. For our first problem we're going to do 1/2 plus a third. Okay, the first thing I like to do is set this up vertically because it just kind of makes it easier down the road. Alright, then what we have to do is find the least common denominator. We do that by using the lowest common multiple of our 2 denominators, and in this case it's the 2 and the 3. The easiest way to do that is to simply list out some of those multiples. For 2, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. And for 3, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and 21. Now you don't have to do the first 7 each time. Typically the first 5 will get you what you need to get. Now if I look here, I can see that the lowest common multiple that they have is going to be 6. So I am going to use 6 as my common denominator. Now as I start to work, I think, what will I multiply by 2 to get to 6? And that's going to be 3. And it is my third multiple over. And whenever I do the bottom, I must do the same to the top. And then I can think, how do I get from 3 to 6? Well, I multiply by 2. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And that, you can see, is the second multiple. And then we simply multiply straight across. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Multiply straight across. 1 times 2 is 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. So now we can see that my denominators are the same. So now I can actually go and add them. And all I'm going to do is add just the numerators. We do not add the denominators together. The denominator will remain 6. And then 3 plus 2 is 5. So our answer is 5/6. Alright, let's do another one. We'll do 4/5 plus 2/3. So again, I like to line it up vertically here. And then we're going to find our lowest common denominator using the common multiples. So for 5, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. For 3, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and 21. And I can see that our lowest common multiple that I've listed out is going to be 15, so that's going to become my least common denominator. And so now I simply multiply to find an equivalent fraction with 15 as the denominator. So I ask, how do I get from 5 to 15? Well, I multiply it by 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And I ask myself, how do I get from 3 to 15? I multiply by 5. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And so our new equivalent fraction for 4/5 is going to be 12/15. And our equivalent fraction of 2/3 is going to be 10/15. And then we simply add. And I get 22/15. Now this is an improper fraction, and they don't need to stay this way. I like to see it as a mixed number. So we can think of 22/15 as 15/15 and 7/15. Now 15/15 is the same as 1, and then we have 7/15. So our answer is 1 and 7/15. Now let's try 2 subtraction problems here. We're going to do 3/5 minus 1/2. Same general rules here. I like to line it up vertically. And we're going to use the common multiples to find our least common denominator. And for 5, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. For 2, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. And we can see that our lowest common multiple is 10, so that's going to be our lowest common denominator. So now I need to find equivalent fractions to get to that. So I do 5 times 2. 5 times 2 will get me to 10. So 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 2 is 10. And this one I will do times 5, because 2 times 5 will get me to that denominator of 10. 1 times 5 is 5. So now I have 6/10 minus 5/10, which will get me 1/10. Now for our last problem of the day, we're going to do 2/3 minus 2/9. This time I'll try to make sure I don't run off the edge of the screen. So write it vertically. Okay, same deal. We've got to find the lowest common denominator using the lowest common multiples. So for 3, I'm just going to do the first 5 this time. We've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And for 9, we have 9, 18, 27, 36, and 45. And I can see that my lowest common multiple up there is going to be 9. So this number, this 9, is already at the lowest common denominator that I have, so I don't actually have to do anything to it. Now the 3, how do I get from 3 to 9? Well, I multiply by 3. Whenever I do the bottom, I must do the same to the top. And because this is already our common denominator, we can simply multiply it by 1. And an equivalent fraction of 2/3 is going to be 6/9. Our equivalent fraction to 2/9 is, well, the same thing, 2/9. Then we simply subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4, and the denominator stays the same, 4/9. Alright, so hopefully that was pretty quick, pretty painless. Make sure to like and subscribe if you have not already, and keep an eye out for my next video. Should be addition and subtraction of mixed numbers. That's when things get fun. Probably actually going to break that into 2 videos, one for addition, one for subtraction. Alright, see you later.